Davido is a content creator. I have nothing against him. And there's nothing bad in being a content creator. I'm a content creator. The Rattle King or whatever is a content creator. Wizkid is a content creator.
I agree with what you're saying, though. I agree with what you're saying.
But the level that Davido has gotten to, he gets some things where he's not supposed to do. It's as if David does not even understand how big he is. And if Davido does not understand how big he is going to reduce himself to what his mind is telling him he is very soon. Now, this is my little not issue. These are the things I just want David to understand. First of all, you don't even need to be as good as Wizkid when it comes to music. He get the strength. David has the strength when it comes to Nigerian presence. People will get Lagos, Nigeria as a whole in terms of music. He has that presence more than Wizkid. Do you understand? And Burna Boy. David pushes, he sees the need to explain himself too much to people. You call yourself 001. If they say you are 003, you don't need to fight it. You don't need to compete, you know? He's always looking for that validation from people. And David doesn't need it. He wants to prove a point. Davido feels that all his enemies will suffer. Bro, your enemies can even be richer than you tomorrow. You are not God. I've always.
So in the case of Davido and Deeone, this thing is just somehow, Deeone's take on Davido, I agree with a lot of his takes on Davido, but here is the angle to which I come from. I come from the path where I understand that these artists, they have different characters and different personalities, and because of that, the way they communicate to the public, it's on a very different term than what you expect them to. And because they're human beings and they have different personalities, the human in fans would generally try to compare each of them, but it's not supposed to be so, because these people have different characters and different personalities. It's like you having 3 children and you are expecting 3 of them to react to a certain experience the same way. Of course, there are 3 children. When one will cry, the other one might just stand and be shocked and stay still. The other one might run away. Those are 3 different reactions to the same experience. And these are 3 children. So it's just the same way now. Put it as these celebrities, Davido, Burna Boy, and Wizkid. There are 3 different personalities, 3 different characters, 3 different people. So you don't expect them that they will interact with their fans and interact with the social media controversies and shenanigans the same way. Where Davido may react and talk back to the public, Wizkid might just lay low. Burna Boy might not say anything at that time, but in the next 1 week, Burna Boy will come and throw tantrums on his own Instagram stories. He might not interact directly with fans, but he'll throw tantrums on his Instagram stories, or just find one particular person and direct all the shots at that person. Wizkid might not even talk at all and just be quiet as possible and allow his FC to talk, while Davido will come and be interacting directly with the fan base. And when you see this, you're like, why can't Davido be like Wizkid? Why can't Davido be like Burna Boy? Why can't Burna Boy be like Davido? Why is Davido so friendly? Why does Davido interact with fans so easily? All these things are because of different personality traits and different characters, as 3 of them have different personalities. So for Davido, he knows he's big. Of course, before we started calling him 001, he knows he was 001. He started calling himself 001 before we started calling him 001. So he knows he's big. But then again, it doesn't still change the person in him. It doesn't still change the character that he portrays, the personality that he has. He's the type of person that doesn't care who you are. He interacts with people. The way he interacts with you online is the same way he interacts with you outside the social media space. When he sees you, hey, he can shake your hand. When Wizkid might ignore some fans and just move on, Davido might come, shake your hand and dance with you. I shook Davido in a club. Davido didn't know me from anywhere. Davido was passing and I was standing by the side of the club like this. I was standing on a chair and he was passing by me and I brought my hand for a handshake and he shook my hand and passed. I didn't know Davido. Davido didn't know me from anywhere and he shook my hand and passed. So that's the kind of person Davido is. But not like Burna Boy. I don't even think I'll bring my hand out for Burna Boy to shake and pass, because I know that one will just ignore it and pass. Same thing with Wizkid. Wizkid will not even send you, just ignore and pass. But Davido is that type of person. He's the type of person that feels the need to show himself and interact with his fans. He doesn't shy away from talking to his fans as human as he talks to anybody. The only time you see Davido being quiet is when he knows that him talking will do more harm to his brand than good. In all those kind of controversies and all those kind of situations where he knows that the more he talks, the worse it becomes for him. That's when you see Davido not talking. That's when you see him not having the need to explain himself. For example, the whole thing that happened where the video came out and it was like, I'm on my knees, I'm on my knees. That kind of Davido, I'm on my knees experience that was in that video. You see that Davido was quiet, but Davido has a different personality. But let's listen to what Deeone is saying. Let's continue listening to what Deeone is saying, and let's see if we can dissect more.
I've always been a fan of David's work. Do you know why? I feel like when it comes to working hard, David is one of the most hardworking musicians. That's why you don't need to prove a point to people. Because if you are born into so much wealth, so much money, and you are singing as if you are hustling, that shows, strength, tenacity. It shows that, yes, you have something in you. And everybody can see the fire in your eyes. Why you dey prove points to people? Why? You can pressurize Davido, nah. Before you know it, because of the pressure, he will do something. And it's very irrational. David can do something. He go regret it later, but he go don't do and finish. I don't see a reason why a Davido will have issue with, although they've settled now, you get issue with Dele Momodu. You where say you go still beg. If you know say you go still beg, wetin make you go record song? Wetin make you go record song, do remix, do insult the man? You can't go beg, can't go reconcile. I see you as somebody that is very irrational. So David should embrace his strengths and stop exposing his weaknesses to the world. That is my own belief. And if you look at Wizkid, Wizkid know say he family no get money reach David. So when he reach all those money, he dey do his own thing where him power reach. So why would David want to prove a point when it comes to music? Where Wizkid? Because he has said it severally that Wizkid is his mentor. Wizkid is his oga. One of the people that inspired Davido. Davido has said with his mouth that is Wizkid. So
where did Davido say that? I've never seen any interview where Davido said that. I know Davido has said that he appreciates Wizkid's work, and I understand that Wizkid came out a year before he did. So Wizkid was kind of like the face of the youth promising artist at the time, at that 2010, 2011 time. Then Davido now came out. But I don't know if Davido has ever said Wizkid is his mentor. Anyway, if you have a video that shows that, or if there's anything that if you've seen that, please let me know in the comment section. But let's continue though.
Leave it at that. Do the one way you feel do. Leave the rest to God. Stop proving a point to 30 BG. The strongest fan base when it comes to music, the number one is Wizkid FC. Number two is Burna Boy. They're not plenty, but they are very, very strong. And you can see the concert headlines, all over the world. You can.
I think this, in terms of this fan base thing, I'm sure Deeone is saying it based on the Nigerian presence of the fan base. In terms of Nigerian presence, of course, Wizkid has the strongest fan base. Then after Wizkid, maybe I think Davido before Burna Boy, in terms of just within Nigeria. Internationally, I believe that Burna Boy has the strongest fan base internationally compared to these other two. I believe that internationally people recognize Burna Boy's music more than they rate Wizkid or Davido. But let's listen to what he's saying.
The concert headlines, all over the world. You can see how a lot of them attend and everything. Then number three, now Davido. But David always he wants to be the number one. There's no problem, but you have to do it strategically and in a way where the social media space will be friendly for everybody. All those things don't come by fight. Now God now they give you victory over if you want to take over territories. Now God now they give you victory. So most times when I come out to talk about David, it's just to advise him. And David knows. David, they listen to my videos now. He knows that what I'm saying is, David knows they use me play. Anything I say about him, he does not joke with it. Because he knows that the only person that will tell him the truth in the whole of Nigerian entertainment space and online space now Deeone. Say, even Tunde not lies to David now. Tunde not lies to everybody. Tunde not does not have any true friend. He lies to everybody. My own is just to make sure that David is a better person. He learns in an educated way.
What concerns Tunde not in this whole thing? Why is he throwing shades at Tunde not? Why is he is he giving Tunde not some bass? Let's continue though.
That's it basically. There's no personal thing with David. If I see David today, if he greets me, I'll answer him. Just like if he greets me, I go answer him. I know they greet A-list first. Now you go first greet me. Because if I go greet you now, you use me, take hair, and I no go take and likely with you. So if David come now, if he greets me, fine. And the people who don't try greet David in the past, now slap they collect. The other bouncer that used
David slapped anybody. Like I told you, my own experience with Davido. He shook my hand. I brought out hand and he shook my hand. Maybe if I have the video, I'll play it here, but I brought out my hand and he shook it and passed in the club. But I don't know Deeone and Davido experience. I don't think I've ever heard anything about Davido slapping people. I know that Burna Boy, Burna Boy are the trademark matching people. Like if you can't jump on stage, Burna Boy will kick you or can match you. But I don't know about Davido being any violence towards any fan whatsoever. But let me continue hearing the one.
To follow him. Now so slap. He just slap all David fans. How can I love you? I'm happy to see you. I'm happy. The next thing you slap. But they can't slap.
Oh, okay. That's Davido's bodyguard, not Davido himself. Let's go.
Slap people abroad though, but they slap our people. But no problem. If I talk about this one now, they'll say leave David alone, leave David. How can they slap you as a Nigerian? You say another Nigerian should not talk. We should be concerned. We should care about ourselves. The giveaway where David they do now for the people. It's not because of himself. David go do giveaway so that people go talk. You shouldn't be motivated by the people. You should be motivated by yourself, especially at that level where you don't.
But David is the kind of person that has been always selfless. Like if you see him, you know that he has nothing to prove, but he still just does what he does. He's just that free-minded kind of guy. No matter how Deeone takes it that he's doing it for the people and he's not doing it for himself, regardless, but he's doing it. There are people that nothing will make them release money, regardless of what you tell them. If like they make Deeone shout, make Daniel Rega shout, let anybody shout. Nothing you tell them that will make them release money. But you see someone like Davido. Davido is the type of person that he still just wants to do it. He will just do it regardless. Davido is the kind of person that can whine like, bros, give me something now. Just show boys love. And at the end of the day, he will show boys love. But apart from him, I don't see other people doing like that. But let's continue.
So that's my own with David. If you look at Wizkid, now when Wizkid like it, they reply. Now when Wizkid like it, they talk. Don't be saying this. He sees everything happening online, just the way David sees it. But David, how can somebody that has 1,000 followers on Instagram talk about David? David will enter the person's DM and be you go see what will happen tomorrow. What is happening tomorrow? Who you be? Okay, now crime now say you come from rich family. Who you be? Okay, you go to threaten us. You don't forget say internet is a leveler. If internet is not a leveler, Davido and Pella will never be doing something together. Look at Pella now. Who Pella be? Pella on a normal day, if not because of internet, Pella not supposed to smell where Davido dey. But that shows you that the internet is a leveler. So Davido should learn to, he's a legend. He should learn to be on that level. That's my own.
The internet is a leveler, but this example that I gave doesn't really correspond. When they talk about internet being a leveler, it talks about it has broken that barrier of entry from social economic classes. That is, people that are super rich and famous can interact with a fan in Ikorodu that doesn't have anything going for him. It has broken that barrier of entry, yes. But talking about Pella and Davido doing things together, it's not because the internet is a leveler that made Pella and Davido do things together. Pella can have 500 million followers, and if Davido says he doesn't want to do anything with Pella, he will not do anything with Pella. But Pella growing and becoming such a famous guy in the TikTok scene, in fact, is the most influential Nigerian TikToker as we speak. It's Davido's choice. It's Davido that chose to do something with Pella, and that's why he did something with Pella. It's not because the internet pressured him to do it, or because internet was a leveler. You understand? Regardless of internet being a leveler, Wizkid, the barrier of entry between Pella and Wizkid is still there. Wizkid has still been ignoring Pella, and Pella has been begging that he wants to do something with Wizkid. But Wizkid has still not, let me not say ignoring, because he might not just have prioritized it because he has other things to do. But that's just personality difference between Davido and Wizkid. It's not because internet made it a leveler. It's just because Davido chose to be that guy. Davido chose to be the guy that he can be with anybody interact with anybody. And Wizkid is the kind of person that, okay, his barrier of entry is high, is on a higher level. There's not everybody that can interact with Wizkid and talk to Wizkid. For example, the example I can give is this YouTuber called Koti. Koti tried her best to reach out to Wizkid. I think that was what even made her channel take off, when she waited and with her team to try to talk to Wizkid and interview Wizkid, and she couldn't get to him. But unlike other artists, I think she has interviewed that's Davido Olamide. I don't know if Koti. I think Koti has also interviewed Davido. I think so. I can't remember, but I think Koti has interviewed Davido. But outside, you see, she can access Davido. She can access other people. She has not really accessed. She has not been able to access Wizkid. And she's one of the big YouTubers on the internet. Why didn't the leveling make her interact with Wizkid and other big artists? It's not because of the internet. It's because of the personality and who the person is. So that's just it. So it's personality different, not the internet being a leveler. So let's continue though.
Thing with him. Once Davido can stop seeking for public validation, no problem. And David will seek for public validation at the expense of anybody. If Davido was a caring person, and this also goes to John Jazzy, if Davido was really a caring person for the industry, because as he is like that, every of his decisions can shape the music industry. If David was a caring person about if he cares about the industry, there are some things he's not supposed to put in mouth. For instance, the fake support that he rendered when VDM was arrested, that was fake support. He shouldn't have done that, because first of all, he did not even know the reason why the boy was arrested. He had no idea, but because make it be like say they talk, he go talk. My big three in the music industry, funny enough, David, Burna, and Wizkid, I love them equally. I appreciate their work. But if I'm going to select, somebody to be number one, maybe Burna and Wizkid will be a tie, but I will still Burna and Wizkid na draw. Burna and Wizkid na draw for me. I love the energy they put in and everything. Then David is a close first runner up. But if David should stop public validation tomorrow, if he should not send what the public says and he should just do his own thing without trying to make people David na good person, maybe all those things, if he should stop it, he go enter number one for me. But for now, he be first runner up.
Okay, so this is the whole Deeone thing, and tell me what you think about what Deeone said. Do you agree with him? Do you not agree with him? Him talking about the whole big three, I think that one is strictly by opinions, and there's no metric to actually grade who is actually number 1, 2, or 3 in the big three. Anybody can choose them based on their faith. For me, the big three, my favorite is Davido, of course. Davido, then Burna Boy, then Wizkid. That's my own ranking. It's just opinion. It doesn't mean anyone is better than the other. It's just based on opinion. So that one, I have no comments on it. But tell me what you think. His take on Davido trying to seek public validation, especially the one he talked about on his talk when VDM was arrested. Him saying, "I beg me, they free my guy." Deeone feels like he did that because of the public pressure of him to lend his voice. Me, personally, I think it could be that, but Davido is the kind of person that is vocal. He can be that vocal for anything, regardless of whether it is for the VDM arrest or for any other thing. Davido is the kind of person that is always ready to lend his voice. And so, but in that aspect, I still lean 50-50, possibly right, possibly wrong, but Davido is just a guy that is very free and expresses himself vocally, outwardly. Is that type of person. So the thing that you might interpret as him doing it for public validation is just his personality, it's just who Davido is, and that's why his fans like him for that. So with that being said, tell me what you think about the whole situation and what Deeone said in this thing. I go by the name is Coach Prince. This is Storyteller Nigeria. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.